Hello, my friends. This is Andy over at the Facebook Live TV show. I am happy to be with you here on a Tuesday. Yep, that's right. It's a Tuesday here in Brea, California. And a good friend of mine, Pat Zemer, has just recently decided to begin using MimoLive. And I could have sworn that I had done a training. And I did do a little bit of a training on MimoLive, but it doesn't look like I have one that specifically talked about working with the green screen in MimoLive. I thought while I was doing this, I would also share with you, some of you are always wondering, and it's kind of confusing, if you're using MimoLive, how is it that I can use it in BeLive or Zoom or what have you? And so I thought I would go ahead and show you that too. And so what I'm going to end up showing you a little bit of today is both BeLive.tv. Don't buy yet until I get an affiliate link. I'm protesting. Just kidding. You can get anytime you want. And I'm going to show you about connecting a green screen effect to your camera so that you can do green screen effects while you're broadcasting. So let's first share. Let's see, what's the best way to attack this? I had this all planned out, and now I kind of already forgot what I was going to do. So let's first share BeLive's about how you connect MimoLive to a BeLive. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And first, what you're going to see is what I'm currently on right now. And I'm going to solo that so that it's all by itself. So what you can see is that you got the two windows that are up at the top. That is currently what is being shown to you if I were to show both of them at the same time. Where you see my desktop, there's a little button at the bottom that's orange. It says solo. The way that I can show that screen by itself and you can still hear me is by clicking that solo button. And so that allows you to hear me using my mic, but yet see my screen. All right, so now I'm going to go to a different BeLive. And so how you use this is you go to this button called Start Broadcasting. And it's going to give you three options: solo, interview, and talk show. Remember that talk show is the only one that allows you to use a screen share right now. You can do solo where you don't plan on doing anything other than just talking. So you're just basically a talking head. If you want to interview somebody, you can just go to interview when it's just a one-on-one interview. And then you have talk show mode, which allows you to do all of those things, plus share your screen and some other cool stuff. All right. So I don't know why they have the other two. They should just, actually, I think you should just get rid of them. So why bother? But I guess there's people that just want to have a choice. I'm not sure why. So you go here. So I'm going to create a show. I'm going to use a page that I manage. I'm going to use the, and first of all, Pat, I want to apologize. It's going to take just a couple seconds to get to the green screen thing, but I will get there. This only takes a second. So I'm going to be posting later on today on the 100-day ClickFunnels challenge about day 12. So I'm going to put that there. And so what it's the title is day 12. Signed, failed. How do you spell Seinfeld? Seinfeld email strategy is what we talked about today. Maybe Seinfeld. Oh, I guess that's how you spelled it. Seinfeld email strategy. And that's what we're going to be talking about. That's the title. So I'm going to copy this because this is what I'm going to call it internally. That way I can find it later if I want to. And I'll just paste that there. I'm going to schedule it. What time is it now? 12:40. Let's do that at 2 o'clock. I have to get my kids at 4. So we're going to schedule it for 2 o'clock. All right, 2 p.m. And let's do 2:30 because that's a short one. It won't be that long. All right, and then my email address, let's use the Andy Falco Jimenez at gmail.com. I'm going to add my branding. Oh, let's add an image. So I'm going to find an image of, it'll take too long. Let's just simply go to 0 to hero. There it is. I'm going to use my logo, put it in there. And I know one of these days I'm going to come up better logo. That's just one I created on my own. I was being cheap that day. And then add my branding. So I'm going to make sure that my logo shows up in the upper right-hand corner. Save branding. And create broadcast. All right. So when I've done that, whether it's a scheduled one or if I'm going to go straight to live, I guess it's taking a little bit here because I'm using two different BeLives. So right down here, do you see on the first we have to hit finish. All right, right down here, you can see where you have a little cog wheel. and you're going to click on the cog wheel, and right here you're going to leave the resolution. You can I'm wired in using a cable, so I could actually probably do 720. So I'm going to go ahead and click on 720. In most cases, you're going to use 540, just as long as your internet is good. If you have a really weak signal, you're going to use 480. All right, standard definition. And then here where it says camera, you see that right there where it says camera? You're going to click on that, and you're going to see here in the list, I have Blackmagic, which is, I'm going to show you in just a second. That's the other camera I had set up. ManyCam, which is another virtual camera, which I don't use, and it's just stuck on my computer, and it's always listed there. My FaceTime HD camera, that's the camera that's on my computer. HD Pro, which is on because MimoLive is using it. You don't want to click that one. It actually won't let you choose that one because it's already being occupied by MimoLive. And right here is where you see MimoLive. And what I'm doing is I'm using a setup that I have named Catch-All MimoLive Broadcast. All right, so it's MimoLive, and then the name of the file that I'm using in the broadcast is that one there. So I'm not going to click on it right now. I will when I decide to broadcast. And that is where you find MimoLive and use it as your camera. All right, hope that all makes sense. When you are going to Zoom and going out to all the other ones, you will have the same setup somewhere where it'll allow you to select your camera as long as you have MimoLive running. So I know I have MimoLive running because I'm on it right now, but you will know because you won't, whether it is or not, because if you don't, it's not listed. And if it is, it'll be listed here on the list. If you don't see it, that means you haven't turned it on and set it up prior to setting up this broadcast, which in case if you do that, you just simply want to close out BeLive from a tab, or you can reload the button up here on the upper left-hand corner on your Chrome browser. You can then refresh after you've started MimoLive, and then it will recognize MimoLive, and you can use it as your camera, okay? So I'm not going to use it right now because of whatever. So now I can close this BeLive because I can find the link to open this up at 2:30 when I'm ready, or actually 2:20 to start my next broadcast. And all this will be ready to go, and all I have to do is set up my camera again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that, close that out. All right, so now we're here. Oops, I hit it twice. Hopefully, I hit it twice because I was impatient. I almost ended this broadcast. All right, so so we're gonna get rid of that, and so now now you know how to quickly set up a BeLive.tv and schedule it. So that is scheduled. If you were to look on the ClickFunnels 100-day challenge page that I have, you would see now that on that page there's a post that says at 2:30 I will be doing a Facebook Live on the Seinfeld, right? Not Seinfeld, Seinfeld, the show Seinfeld, sequence or email sequence. All right. So now let's go to MimoLive. Now MimoLive, I'm going to bring this up to the broadcast, and I'm going to go ahead and go solo. So this is a broadcasting software. All right, broadcasting software, which allows me to have, and BeLive does too, but allows me to have such things as a lower third. So if I wanted to bring up my lower third, I just hit this button, and you see the lower third pops up, but that's in MimoLive. It has a timer, so it'll come down in 1, 0, and now it's gone, right? So every time I want to show that, I can just hit that button. It will pop up, and I know that it's going to hold for 10 seconds, and then on its own, it's going to drop down. So unlike BeLive, you have to remember to click the button so that goes away. When I'm using MimoLive, I have it automatic, and you can make that 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You can make it hold it for the entire length of your broadcast if you wanted to. You get to decide what it is, and you get to bring in whatever assets, whatever logos, and you can change whatever it is anytime you want, depending on what it is you're doing. And oops, sorry, wrong one, lower third. There we go. So you can see I can change this logo. I can change the name and the subtitle. And there's also options that you can get to have different types of lower thirds and that kind of stuff. All right. You can also bring in pictures. And so here's a picture up here in the upper left-hand corner. If I wanted to show this, I just click on the live button, and there is that upper left-hand. Now, I don't want that because I already have one showing through BeLive, so I don't need to have one. And I can make this any size I want. Right. I can make it really big. I can move it around. Oops, that wasn't making it really big. Here, this corner makes it really big. Okay, there. So I can make it bigger. I can move it around in front of my face. I can do whatever I want, or I can just quickly get rid of it. All right, I should actually resize that back down so I don't forget. All right, let me just resize that and move it over here in the corner. All right. Station logo, that's what you're seeing over here on the lower right-hand corner. I put that live on there. That way people can see extra live. Now, you know that I'm live, but I don't have to have that. I'd like to have it on there just I don't know, because I'm doing Facebook Live, and that's kind of my branding thing, is that I do a lot of Facebook Lives. All right, so now let's set up a second camera. So I have another camera over here connected through, and I wish I could show it to you. Maybe I can, using this Blackmagic web presenter switcher, right? It allows me to connect another camera here in the back. And this one's using HDMI cable, which I then connect via USB. Shoot, Bruce is right. I make lots of mistakes. USB into my computer, which is this right here. I have a USB connections here. So you got 3 extras because there's only 2 on a laptop. And so through the black box, it runs HDMI from the camera to the black box switcher, and then goes into my HDMI cable, which is connected to my computer. All right. So up here on the upper left-hand, upper left-hand corner, and I'm hopefully you're seeing my cursor. I'm making it a little bit bigger. There's a plus sign right up here, right? There's a plus sign. So when I want to add a camera, I hit the plus sign, and you see the very first selection right up here is camera. I'm going to select camera. Actually, I'm going to double click it, and now it puts it in the sources on the left-hand column. So this left-hand column, I'm using my hand, and you can't see my hand. The left-hand column right here is all my sources, all the sources that I have that I can bring onto the broadcast using any one of these layers that are over here in the middle, not really the middle, but the middle of the selections here. All right, so the sources are the things that I'm going to use to put in these layer stacks so that you can eventually see them. All right, so camera 2 is going to be, since I'm using my webcam, my Logitech, and now I want to use my Blackmagic web presenter because that's where that other computer is connected, I'm going to select Blackmagic web presenter for camera 2. All right, so I've selected it. Now over here on the layer stack, which is the second column, I'm going to open up what is called a placer. All right, a placer is simply a placeholder for one of the assets that are in that source column. All right, so, and I'm going to move this placer down because I want it to be behind my lower third. I want it to be behind my picture-in-picture, my station logo. I want it to be behind those things as if you're, let me actually come back to my camera. Stand by for 1 second. I'm going to come back to my camera so I can better describe this. Oh, you can see me. I forgot. There is a video of me there on the one side. So what you want to understand about the the stack is that really it is a stack of assets that one in the back is obviously the one on the bottom, which is normally would be like if you have, it would be maybe your green screen or something like that. No. Yes, kind of. Would be no, sorry, would be a green screen. No, it would be whatever it is you want to be in your background. So it could be an image of this wood back here. It could be green grass. It could be a studio that you want to look like that you're inside. So that is going to be the back thing. In front of that is going to be your green screen, and then in front of that is going to be your camera. And then in front of that possibly is going to be your lower third, right? You want your lower third to come up in front of you here. So you see these things are stacked. If you want your picture-in-picture to show, but you don't want your hand to go behind it in the stack, you're going to want to make sure and put it behind you, right? And so that it is behind the green screen effect. So that when you wave your hand, now it's behind you. If you want it to block your hand, you want it in front of you. That way, when you wave your hand, now it's in front of you. So just think of all these layers as stacked up transparencies, depending on what you want it to show ahead of the other is how you're going to stack it up. And it takes a little while to kind of get used to that, but I'm telling you, it really is simple once you get to do it. So let's go back here. Let's go back to the broadcast, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just 1 second. And let me go back to my MimoLive. All right. So now I want a placer, and I'm going to move this placer down and then just above. And so what you do is you click on it, and then you drag. So I'm going to drag it down, and I want it to be behind the picture-in-picture because remember, I want the picture-in-picture to show. And I think I want it right there because right here I have a placer of a blue screen, which I'm going to show you once I use the green screen. That is behind this camera, which is going to now have the green screen effect. All right. The reason I have this green caught up here, because it's the exact green color that you need, funny enough, to activate your green screen effect. Okay, so I needed something green so that I could use this. This is why you see this this cot sitting over here. All right, so now as I have this selected, you see the yellow line that circles this placer. I'm going to now attach this camera to this placer. And you do that by now going to the center. You see the center here where the big A is? You drop down and you're going to look for the video source drop-down menu. And now I'm going to click on the video source drop-down menu, and I'm going to look for camera 2. Remember, camera 2 is the one I just connected to the web presenter, which is over here. Do you see right here where it says camera 2? Down here, video device, it says Blackmagic web presenter right over here on the sources. All right. So over here, of course, that's the one I want because that's the one I want to show. So camera 2 is now going to be this other camera. So now you can see it. This is a Lumix camera that's connected via HDMI cable to this Blackmagic web presenter, which is then connected to the USB. All right. So now if I want to bring that to the front, and I'm going to do that now, you can see if I just click on that, now it is my primary camera. So now if I go back to Google Chrome and take away the screen share, now you're going to see that I have this camera over here, all right? Because now it's the primary camera that I'm using on MimoLive. I clicked it to go live. In the stack, it is above my web, my Logitech webcam. So when I click on to go live, it takes over and becomes the front one. I don't have to deselect the webcam because this camera in the stack is on top of the web presenter, all right? Hopefully that makes sense. I want to kind of repeat the stacking thing so that it kind of begins to make sense, all right? Now let me bring it back up to the broadcast. All right, I'm gonna go back to MimoLive on my computer. That way I can see what I'm doing here. All right, so now I have my my primary camera here in the placer, and you can either have it selected on live or have it not. It doesn't matter. All right, and maybe I'll leave it not selected. That way you can see the difference. All right, so now I go back over to source. So I go back to the first column, and you see when I hover over camera 2. On the right-hand side, you see this FX come up, right here. You see it pop up, FX. You're going to click on the effects. And here are all the different effects you can do using this particular source, right? You can do 360 adjust center, 360, I don't even know what any of that stuff means, anonymous, blah, blah, blah. All I'm looking for is chroma key, and you can use chroma key basic or pro. I believe more often than not, I use Chroma Keying Pro, but let's just first use Chroma Keying Basic just to see the difference. All right, so Chroma Keying Basic, I'm going to click on it. You're going to see a little bit of a delay. Then all of a sudden, you're going to see that green turn to black. In most cases. Maybe not. There it goes. Wow, that took a lot longer than normal. So you see right here, you see how it is black, right? So that means that the green is gone. So if I now, anything that's behind it, I want to show through that green, which is this blue starburst. If I click live, oops, I'm wrong. It goes above it. Oh, that's funny. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I'm just, okay, how do I do that? Sorry. Oh, I need to go farther back. Hold on. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble because now my, well, it's supposed to show up through there. Oh, no. I'm telling you that it works. Maybe it's only when I go live. Let's see. Nope, I just did that. Wow, this is very strange. Now, how do I do this? Well, I'm trying not to panic here. Maybe it's because I did not get rid of my main camera. Could that be possible? Nope, still not working. You see, when I move this camera up. All right, let me mess with the chroma keying here. All right, stand by. I'm going to figure this out. Somehow we always do. Just waiting for the assets to... went too far. Hue. No, we don't want the hue. We want the keyed. Oh, there we go. I see now what's going on. There we go. These just weren't set up. So we have to go through these dials a little bit to get away from that green here. Yeah, I'm going to take it back just 1 second. I'm going to fix this. There we go. I don't know why we had to go to start here. It was just because these dials weren't set up properly. And I've never had to click this auto adjust. That's really interesting. So I hear an auto adjust. So this is at least new to me. I had to click this button, which then adjusted the settings, which is the hue minimum, hue maximum, the saturation max, lightness. This may have been a new update that they just did. They're constantly updating MimoLive. And so they've obviously updated the MimoLive. I wonder where my chest is showing a little bit of a gizmo there. And how you fix these things is you make these adjustments here, and you figure out what it is that's causing that to happen, and you just take it out. All right, so it'll just take a little bit of fixing, or not fixing, just a little bit of tweaking to figure out what it is that's causing that to happen, and it's fairly easily fixed. You just got to mess with it just a little bit. That is so funny. Oh, there's another asset that's back there. Look at the gray. It's a gray fence. All right. So sorry about that. That little bit of confusion there, but it was simply just you're going to click on this button that says auto adjust and start that. And again, I don't remember ever seeing that before, and so it is it's new. Because I'm running so many things that it's really slow to engage, and you see how it's taking just a little bit to get there. All right, now one other adjustment you can make, and I'm going to see if this actually may fix, whatever it is we're seeing over here. I'm not sure if there's some green hue that we're seeing in these boards that are right here, and that will happen. Now, when you have a solid green backing, I'm trying to do something really funky here with a cot, and then up above I have some green screen up there, so you're seeing that turn to blue too, and that's all normal stuff. But this is where you kind of get started. And the other adjustment you can make is by using this thing called if you're using a Logitech, you can make adjustments using the Logitech camera settings. If you're not using Logitech camera settings, then it's not going to help you, right? But there's nothing called, I don't see it popping up. Maybe you guys. So anyway, there is definitely a video that I have where you're going to take your Logitech settings, which is a separate app that you have to, once you get a Logitech camera, you're going to download the app for your computer called Logitech Setup. And that will allow you to do some more fine tuning of your green screen. I completely forgot just now that I'm on my Lumix, so that it's not going to work for this particular demonstration. But it is another way of making some adjustments to your green screen. And it's really interesting that it's showing, oh, there we go. So you can see how I'm just able to tweak some of these things and make it a little bit refined. And it's just a matter of using them. And I really think if you're using a Logitech, if you want to use the settings in the Logitech camera settings, that you'll be able to fix much of what it is that we're doing here. All right, so you don't have this blue that you see on my chin. Oh, I guess it's on this side. It's blue on my chin. I'm not sure which green there. But there you go. Let's go ahead, and I'm not sure if it's going to allow me to do this or not. Let's just try it. I'm going to try to just select Pro instead. It may just add the asset there, and now I have two chroma key assets, or maybe it won't let me do it at all. It's thinking. I'm probably going to cause my MimoLive to crash. So let's get rid of basic. I'm going to get rid of that adjustment. I'm really going to cause my MimoLive to explode. All right, good. So here we got chroma keying back, but now we are using the Pro. Let's go ahead and click on the button here and see. Oh, I think Pro is actually the one that I use more often. That's why it's that basic was a little confusing to me. So here MimoLive is thinking again. It's processing the color green. The effects is going into play, and you can see that all those things are blank. That's because it's trying to go through the process of whatever it needs to do to make sure that green gets taken out. And I'm not doing anything yet. And I'm going to go to keyed. And there we go. Oh, so much better. Maybe, maybe not. All right, key hue using white. So interesting. They must have changed this dispel color. Let's select this green. Trying to copy the green that's here. All right. Well, this demonstration is going fantastically. All right. Let's feather this a little bit. Dispel amount. Let's change that one. Wow. All right. Go back to the basic. Again, they update this program every so often, and I have to actually make these adjustments to whatever it is they change. And I was not prepared to make these changes. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is kind of crazy. Let's see what happens if I just keep going with this. All right, basic is way better because it does it for you, apparently. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit more. So anyway, you see where to go there. I'm so glad you did this for Pat. All right, let's go to basics. And I'm going to see if I can just read. So again, it was so funny because yesterday, Bruce Jones came on a broadcast and said, you know what I like about, what happens, Andy, when you go on live, you make so many mistakes. And there you go. There's an example. All right. I'm going to go to the basic. I'm going to hit start once it gets through adjusting here. And this may be the best way to go. Basic may be better than pro. Obviously, I am not a pro. I need everything to be very, very basic. Okay, now all the numbers are there. I'm going to go back to, it's still thinking. Oh, there you go. It did it all by itself. All right, you need to touch nothing is what apparently is the lesson learned. The only thing is you got to make some adjustments to get rid of this blue. Again, you can make some of those adjustments, I'm sure. If your lighting is much better than obviously my lighting or whatever I have going on here, there's just something that's happening with that black. It's causing it to look a little bit green. If you have the right colored shirt on, it's not going to be that big of an issue. So the moral of the story is to use a Chrome King Basic in your MimoLive. Click the start button, make sure that you have good lighting, make sure that you don't have a shirt that can be confused for green, and everything is going to go okay. Because over here, you can see that the chroma key is working perfectly. Now you see this camera is in front, and so now you can see that I can stand in front of this blue, this green screen with the color blue, and it shows behind as if that is my new background. All right, shoosh. I hope nobody's watching this. Oh, there are people watching. And thanks for not commenting and saying, Andy, what a fool you are. All right. One other thing I wanted to show you really quick, and I'm not sure if it will show through on my screen or not, but let's find out. So I'm going to drop this down and come back to my camera. Oops. Let me switch back to the other camera using MimoLive. All right. So I'm going to switch out of the Lumix with the green screen and switch back to my other camera. There we go. All right. So now I'm back on my other camera. Oh my gosh, that was fun. Let me calm down now. Whoever's watching, would you please comment? I got 3 people watching. That was really some fun. But we learn together, right? We learn together when things are going on. And the other thing is I want you to know that you're not alone when you're clicking on some of these buttons and you're going, how come this is not working for me? Gosh darn it. That this is some of the stuff. Now, I try my very best to come on and show how professional I am and show you all how cool I am that I know how to do this stuff. But everything takes a little bit of a learning curve, I guess is the best way to put it, that you need to go through. One last thing, when you're using BeLive, I'm going to jump back to BeLive for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and show the screen here up to the broadcast, and I'm going to make it solo. That when you're adding, when you're doing your screen share, and this is one of the things, I got little pet peeves that come up. It's like when you have somebody that's in the camera or who goes live and they have their camera positioned in such a way that they have a open window behind them and they look like they're part of the witness protection program. That just irritates the crap out of me, especially when it's professionals that are doing it, right? Especially when I'm not a professional. When a professional is doing, somebody that has this high-end product and they have this window behind them and you can't see their face, it drives me batty. Or when the camera's not in a place where they're kind of centered, where, you know, they're sitting really low, you know, down here, and then their lower third blocks them. Oops, I forget I'm not on camera. When their lower third comes up and it blocks them or something like that. All that stuff just irritates my crack. Listen, so I was looking at this the other day, and when you're sharing your screen, you hit this button right down here, the lower right-hand corner. I'm assuming that you can, actually you can't see my cursor, can you? Oh yeah, you can. Right here where it says share, you're gonna click on share. This window is gonna pop up. Hopefully you can see that window. Oh crap, you can't see the window. Shoot. I don't know how to fix that for you. If I try to bring in my other camera, that wouldn't work either. All right, so when you hit share, screen share, there are two options. One says your entire screen and the other one says application window. What you should do is click on application window and find the application that in fact you want to share. So earlier you saw when I went to share screen that it went immediately to my MimoLive. It didn't go to you seeing my desktop, which is me running BeLive, and then I had to switch over to show you MimoLive. No, you're able in BeLive to select what application you want to be seen. You want to be seen on your camera, right? You can. It has 1, 2. I have currently. I have how many applications open? 7. I have 7 applications open. I have BeLive, which is the dashboard for BeLive. I have another window that's pulled off of my Chrome, and it's a separate window in my Chrome, and that is Amazon.com. And then I have BeLive that has their sales pricing on there that I obviously opened up in another window. I have MimoLive as an application. I have footage from my GoPro, which is in QuickTime, open in another window. And then I have my Finder window open somewhere on my computer, so that's listed. And I have my notes open. So all those things are open. Hey, Charmaine, listening while driving. Oh, good. You definitely would have crashed if you would have seen me going through the green screen thing and this stuff. So in BeLive screen share, you have share my screen, share my entire screen. That means I'm going to flip through until I find the thing I want to show you. Or there's another selection up at the top of the upper center that says application window. Click on that and then find the application that you're going to want to share to your audience. And what I would do if I were you is I would pull off the tab from Chrome that you're going to be using. So let's say you want to share a demonstration of your Facebook page, which I'm going to be doing a little bit later on, talking about how I'm going to be lowering the price, the first month price of my my private groups to $1 for the first month, and then thereafter is going to, I'm raising the price. So anybody that gets in will get in for a month for $1, and then thereafter they'll be charged monthly a higher price. I'm looking at $14.99. I'm still thinking about $10.99. I'm not quite sure which way to go, but it's going to be a higher price. And so it's just to get more people in my community. That's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 total in all my private groups that are paying $9.99. Some people are paying a lower price because they got in when I first launched it. And so, but now what I'm going to do is offering it for $1 because I have a couple speaking engagements coming up. And so I want to make sure that people that are there can get into the private groups for $1, and I can begin to get them into the groups. And then I'm going to be offering it to other people that are joining on webcasts and things like that. So that's my strategy, is to get them in for $1. They're more likely to do that as long as you get them to use their credit card or their PayPal, and they're more likely then to stay in a little bit longer. So that is the strategy. So when I'm going to share that Facebook page, what I'm going to do is pull the tab off of the one that you don't want it in the same group of tabs that you're running BeLive. You want to pull it away from the one that you're running BeLive and make it a separate window on your computer. When you go to screen share, you want to go to the applications window selection, find that window that's open using your Facebook that's not associated with your BeLive broadcast, and select that to share your screen. So that way, when you share your screen, it goes directly to that page and doesn't show you on your BeLive and then fiddling around trying to find the other page or the other tab and doing all that kind of stuff. All right. It's just, again, it makes it easier transition, makes it look a little bit more professional in that thing. And make sure you know how to use your chroma key when you go to demonstrate it on your MimoLive. That way it's a lot more professional and looks a lot better. All right. All right, Charmaine, thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was helpful in a lot of ways. It actually hopefully did show you how to use a second camera using a web presenter. Hopefully it showed you how to use the chroma key when you select that camera. And hopefully it showed you that I am human too, just like you, make a few mistakes here and there. And there's a little bit of a learning curve as you're doing these things. And remember, when they make updates, that you have to be aware that they make updates. There was just a recent huge update on MimoLive where they did a bunch of stuff. And obviously that was one of those things that I just was not aware of. And when you go live and think that you're going to do something because of a simple change, it can really tweak what it is you have planned for your Facebook Live. So you may want to check out the software you're trying to demonstrate to make sure there hasn't been an update and something has changed. That happens on MimoLive a lot. MimoLive over the last couple months has gone through a bunch of changes, and some of the buttons you used to click on to do certain things aren't the same buttons. And so that has changed, just like anything else. Going to Facebook sometimes is an adventure because things have changed, right? So I'm going to do in Create a Launch a Profit. I'm going to be doing a show today showing that in the new operating system for iPhone, you can now video the use of your iPhone on your phone. You don't have to connect it to Camtasia or ScreenFlow. You can now video record you using your iPhone, clicking through the apps and running an app and scrolling through something. You can record that now on your iPhone. So I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later on in Create a Launch a Profit. Also in the 100-day ClickFunnels challenge, I'm going to be talking about day 12, which is the Seinfeld sequence in your emails. And that's about it. I hope this was helpful. And I will see you at the next one. All right. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks, Charmaine, for joining, and whoever else was joining. I saw there were more of you. All right. So thank you, whoever you are. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.